for this network, for the strong, not the weak.
No escaping this. 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 No escaping this.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, whatever zone you're in, whenever you're listening to this. This is your man HRap from Built for This Network. This is a podcast called The End of the Bench. Due to technical difficulties, I no longer use the software that I used to use. So what I'm going to do as I show you the opening videos, I'll start here and then you'll see me shortly. I will play the video. Hopefully it's enlightening. Thank you for tuning in. Keep your ears on. Thank you.
Banks, personal computers, or affordable shoes, from the traffic light to the ironing board, these innovative creations and many more wouldn't exist today if it weren't for the brilliant minds of these African American inventors. Jennings was the first African-American person to receive a patent in the United States, paving the way for future inventors of color to gain exclusive rights to their inventions. Born in 1791, Jennings lived and worked in New York City as a tailor and dry cleaner. He invented an early morning of dry cleaning and dry scoring and patented in 1821. People objected to an African-American receiving a patent, but Jennings had a loophole. He was a free man. At the time, U.S. patent laws said the slave master is the owner of the fruit of labor, the slave, both manual and intellectual, meaning slaves could not legally own their own ideas or inventions. Several decades later, Congress extended patent rights to all African-American individuals, both slaves and freedmen. Jennings eventually used the money from his inventions to free the rest of his family and donate to abolitionist causes. Born Sarah Breedlove in 1867, Madam C.J. Walkers is often referred to as America's first self-made female millionaire. Her early life was filled with hardships, and at the age of 20 years, she was both an orphan and a widow. Breedlove's fortunes changed after she moved to St. Louis, where her brothers worked as barbers. She suffered from hair loss and experimented with various products, including air care recipe developed by an African-American businesswoman named Annie Malone. Breedlove became a sales representative for Malone and relocated to Denver, where she also married her husband, Charles Joseph Walker. Soon after, she began selling her own air-growing formula developed specifically for African-American women. Breedlove renamed herself Madame C.J. Walker, heavily promoted the product and established beauty schools, salons, and training facilities across America. She died a famous millionaire and is today considered to be one of the founders of African-American hair care and cosmetics industry.
The rocket equation, it's a beautiful thing. No astronaut.
The ironing board is a product that is used possibly just as much as it is overlooked. In the late 19th century, it was improved upon by Sarah Boone, an African-American woman who was born a slave, one of the first black American women in U.S. history to receive a patent. She expanded upon the original ironing board, which was essentially an horizontal wooden block originally patented in 1858. With Boone's 1892 additions, the board featured a narrower and a curved design, making it easier to iron garments, particularly women's clothing. Boone's design would morph into modern ironing board that we use today. With only an elementary school education, a black inventor, and a son of a slave, Garrett Morgan held patent on two of today's most important devices, the gas mask and the traffic signal. His technical and problem-solving skills propelled him to success. At the beginning of his career as an entrepreneur and inventor, Morgan created the first chemical hair straightener product, ultimately launching his own business, G.A. Morgan Hair Refining Company. Along with that success, Morgan also started a sewing machine repair company and a newspaper, the Cleveland Core. However, it was until 1914 that Morgan's most established achievement came into play, patenting a breathing device, the first ever gas mask. 2 years later, Morgan and his brother donned the device after a natural gas explosion under Lake Erie and saved the lives of 2 workers. But Morgan wasn't finished saving lives. After witnessing a terrible car accident, the inventor decided that roads needed a device to determine when cars and pedestrians had the right of way. His solution was the traffic signal, which he patented in 1923. The use of elevators in everyday life keeps people from committing to long and grueling climbs of several flights of stairs. However, before the creation of elevator doors that close automatically, riding a lift was both complicated and risky. Before automatic doors, people had to manually shut both the shaft and elevator doors before riding. Forgetting to do so led to multiple accidents as people fell down elevator shafts. When the daughter of African-American inventor Alexander Miles almost fatally fell down the shaft, he took it upon himself to develop a solution. In 1897, he took out a patent for a mechanism that automatically opens and closes elevator shaft doors.
What we're going to do is start the show right now. This is your man HRap coming at you live and direct. This is the End of the Bench podcast. Thank you for tuning in. Like I said, I'm having technical difficulties, man. The software I used to use to edit the edit the videos, it's not acting properly, and for whatever reason, my internet is acting crap. Now, thank you for tuning in again. This is your man HRap tuning in. This is Built for This Network. This is a simulcast, as I say every show. This is a simulcast. This is on Built for This Network on Spreaker.com. You can also catch this show or broadcast anytime you like. This is a podcast, which means it's available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can go to Spreaker.com, Built for This Network, YouTube, Built for This Network, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Castbox, Deezer, Podcast Addict, and Amazon Prime to get what you need. You can look at this 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and this is why this is a podcast. It is on-demand entertainment. I say it again, on-demand entertainment. So when you do that, you don't have to worry about saying, yo, HRap, I missed your show. And as I do every week, I start off with this. I'm going to put us in a situation to where I have to thank my ancestors. My ancestors are key to me. They're key to you as well. Everybody's ancestors walk them through the universe, whether they know it or not. So I have to send a salute out to the Pollard. Everybody connected to the Pollard: Whitmore, Patterson, Turner, Cotton, Harper, Bailey, Shaw, Thompson, Chris, Lansdowne, Liggins, Duncan, and you also know me, my mother, my brother, my sisters, my aunts, uncles, cousins, friends, and neighbors out of Williams clan. We in the building. Now, one of the reasons I started with that invention video, I don't even know if I'm going to play the next video because of the internet being shaky. I don't know what it is. My bill is paid. Bill was due, whatever. But the reason I did that is because to show what happy birthday to Marcus Mosiah Garvey. The reason I did that is because it's Marcus Garvey's birthday, and because it's Marcus Garvey's birthday, I will use one of his quotes. What an African has done, an African can do. And what that means is if people can invent and strive with all the things that they faced in our past lives, there's no reason, there's no way possible, there's nothing stopping you from being successful. I understand that we face racial tyranny, racial injustice. We face a whole lot of racial obstacles, but those things cannot stop us. Those things will not stop us. We will not allow them to be deterrents to our success. I refuse. I just refuse to do it that way. It's easy to point out things. Hey, man, this is in our way. We got voters' laws and things of that nature. We have all this nonsense that we subconsciously deal with and consciously deal with, but we're not going to allow these things to stop our success, because if you do, that means you really don't want to succeed. If our ancestors could do things, why can't you? And that's why I showed that video, even though it was preempted by the shaky internet. And shout out to Comcast for screwing me over again today. Y'all been doing a good job. And if anybody in Comcast listening and you don't like what I'm saying, you already know I got something for you.
You better shut your white mouth. I'm not kidding you.
And that's how I feel. I'm going to add a little levity to the situation. But what I want to do is get into this situation to whereas we have been used as pawns in a game of life. And the reason I say that is this. The reason I think we've been used as pawns in the game of life is because if you watch the forecast last night, you saw me, my man Wilkes, my man Dalt, my man Ben from BS3. We all talked about the assassination of Malcolm X. And then earlier this afternoon, me and my brother Ray Kev, we talked about the pros and the cons. Well, they my brothers too, but I don't know, whatever. They ain't gonna take that person. But like I said, we talked about the pros and the cons. And initially, Raider was on one side, and we hashed out things, and we realized we came to the reasonable conclusion that who actually killed Malcolm X is not the most important feature in that conversation. Why was he killed, and who sent the orders? And when I bring that up, the reason I bring that up is this. Today, I read something on USA Today, and it states that Herschel Walker may be running against Reverend Warnock. For those who don't understand, Reverend Warnock down there in Georgia, in state government, he was not elected for a full term. He was elected to replace someone. He was a stand-in, so to speak. He was completing a term, and now he has to run. Reverend Warnock, he may not even get a chance to do the best things, live his best political life if we don't stand up. When you have people like Herschel Walker being used as a pawn in the game of life for the black community, what you will have is this. You have people not paying attention, fall asleep at the wheel, and we will lose a little power from our community. Herschel Walker is a pawn in the game because they know that a lot of people in the South are enamored with football. Herschel Walker, as a football player, is one of the greatest of all time. Whether he is a Hall of Fame in the National Football League is totally irrelevant. But Herschel Walker dominated on every level of football he ever stepped on the field in regards to on the collegiate level, at the USFL, the NFL. He left for a while, came back, and then kicked behind as a special teams and a specialty player. And people equate great athletes with good people. And that's not always the case. Herschel Walker is a anti-us kind of guy. And whether you want to believe it or not, or agree with it or not, or look at it, oh man, he just has his own point of view, you have every right in the history of the world to feel that way. I am not your master. I'm not the dude who gonna tell you what to think. But if you listen to the way Herschel Walker disseminates his opinion, you'll see that he is not well informed. He's coming from a place of ignorance, and he supports the people who always has the benefit of the doubt for people who are diametrically opposed to our best health. And he's been brainwashed to the effect of, I worked very hard and to get where I am, and that's why I am. No, you have the luck of the draw. Because guess what, Mr. Walker? It is a dude who worked equally as hard as you did, or maybe even harder, and didn't get to where you got. He may have gotten injured. He may have fallen on hard times. You were lucky. Thank you, my man Finesse, my man D from Finesse Fine Wine Cooking Channel. Thank you for that. Please hit the like button, then hit the subscribe button, then hit the bell, and you'll be subscribed and you'll get notification. Thank you for the assistance. Support that brother as well. Thank you, brother. But like I was saying, we can no longer be used as pawns in the game. The way I was talking about being used as a pawn in the game as it pertains to the show last night is this. We got people, me and my man Rated Kev, we did it. We were arguing on the Nation of Islam side. He was arguing on the Malcolm X side. And then all of a sudden we came to the conclusion, well, who covered up for the two men that we know nothing about, and who allowed William X, William Bradley, to walk the streets freely? And you even had people stating things like, hey man, somebody's covering his behind. Somebody's looking out for him. But we, as a community, we're not looking at those things. We're looking at this. We're arguing on the surface. We do that a lot. I mentioned a few weeks ago, if you go to a restaurant and you get sick in regards to what you ate, we'll yell at the or we'll yell at the waiter, and that's it. Or we'll yell at the manager, and then we'll leave it right there. Or we even sue the restaurant. Hey man, you sold me rancid food. But isn't it the person who? How do you know that food wasn't rancid when it was packaged and shipped to that restaurant? Which means the owner of the food company, the distributor of the food, is responsible in their laws in the country in order that in play, so you can protect yourself from and attack the people who provided the food, and they're responsible. They are liable for quality food being given to you. And when you realize that, you realize you must escalate everything. You don't just argue with your alderman. You don't argue with your state rep. You don't argue with your mayor. You don't just argue with the government. You escalate until you get some things done. And when you're looking at people who are, when we're like the example I'm using, we can say, hey man, Malcolm was right. We can say the most honorable Elijah Muhammad was right, and he could have did something, and Malcolm could have did better. But as my man Mayhem, he's in the chat room now, mentioned last night, it was 9 operatives. 9 people who were straddling the fence and working for the government in that Audubon ballroom the day that our brother Malcolm, our ancestor Malcolm X, was assassinated. 9 people. So if it was 9 people playing a role in his assassination that were there working for the government, how is it that those 9 people were never interviewed, forget by the police, by Dr. Henry Louis Gates and the people who put that documentary together? Because we're being used as pawns. We're never paying attention to the hidden hand, the unseen hand. We're arguing with each other. Oh no, it was this group. Oh no, it was that group. This guy, that guy, and we're never attacking the source of the problem. This is why we must not allow people like Herschel Walker using his football fan. If that's the case, why isn't O.J. Simpson available? Why isn't he available? Because he's damaged his name permanently. He can no longer be used as a pawn. But there are many pawns being used out there, and they're using our sports love for them to pull on our heartstrings and deal with these people on a social level. And that's just not the way we want to do this. We don't have to do this. And if you continue to do this, there is an actual study called anthropology. It is basically the study of ignorance being promoted. Anti-intelligence. We want as much ignorance as possible being disseminated to the public, and if you disseminate enough of that ignorance, you'll have people doing like this white man did last week. This white man got it in his head that his wife, was one of the people who are lizard people. So he took both of his daughters, I think a 2-year-old and an 8-month-old, on a camping trip and assassinated them. He assassinated both his children because, what's the name of the organization? Curion and the Illuminati informed him that his wife was a lizard person. So in order to stop the spread of the lizard people, what this man did was assassinate his children. And when you're living in a universe as such, what happens is those ignorant people no longer just destroy their own. They attack you. They're on their way to attack you. When you got people like Herschel Walker doing the bidding for the dominant society, Herschel Walker's a millionaire. So more than likely, things that are happening to the working class people are not going to affect him. He's already made an allegiance with the dominant society. So why would he be affected? He's a millionaire. Why would he be affected? He's set for life. His children are set for life. Why would Herschel be affected? The answer is he won't be. So he doesn't have to look into things. He doesn't have to look past the surface. He doesn't have to do anything but be an operative for the dominant society. And when he's an operative of the dominant society, what happens is he will put himself in a position in which he thinks he's doing us favors, and he's not. It's amazing how Herschel Walker only surfaces around times that are election times. You don't hear his mouth any other time. You don't see mainstream media putting him out there. Only time is when it's time to sway something. And Lord, I pray that the state of Georgia isn't foolish enough to buy into this I care about my people, I care about the state of Georgia crap that Herschel Walker is doing. But this is why I tell you, we don't have time to work in accordance to D's and R's. We're not dealing with D's and R's. Oh man, I'm a Democrat, I'm a Republican. The Republicans don't like us. The Democrats do. The Democrats don't like us. The Republicans do. I don't have time to do that, because if you're not doing the bidding for everybody in our community, then you are not working for us. I don't care about a Democrat or a Republican. How can you get more funding in our schools? How can you bring back arts programs? How can you pay teachers what they're actually worth? If you want people to properly educate your children, how about taking some of the stress off of them? Because guess what? If you have college professors, as I told you a couple of weeks ago, living out of their cars, grading paper by flashlights, what do you think a city teacher is doing? A public school teacher is doing? And let's not forget, this is also a country that never wanted to give free education. So if you never want to give free education, and so what are you going to do? You're going to underfund the schools. And if you underfund the schools, what areas are you going to underfund them in working class areas, or our areas. And if you underfunded them in our areas, that means those teachers are just as impoverished as you are. Look, the economy is going straight to hell. The price is going up on everything, and the money is going down. So how in the hell is it that you're looking at a situation to whereas we're the most powerful nation in the world, and you got people who are diametrically opposed to the working class, and they're going to do your bit? I told you last week, how the hell can Nancy Pelosi and other people in Congress who are worth tens of millions up to $200 million? The number one dude is he's worth $200 million. Nancy Pelosi is worth 100 and some change. You got some of them worth 25 and 30 million, $30 million. And these are the people who are going to disseminate laws and rules to benefit you if you believe that you are legitimately outside of your mind. Why is it that the Republican Party or any party is willing to back Herschel Walker, but they're not willing to back HRap if he runs to office? Because remember, it's all about being fair, right? It's all about getting the right people in play, right? No, it's because it's not. It's not about that. It has never been about that. And we must stop participating in the propaganda and being pawns in the game. This is why I consistently tell people that people in our community must start creating relationships. If you don't create these relationships, what's going to happen is the people who are opposed to you and the success that you may or may not have, they will continue to create relationships. Nancy Pelosi will still have people, as they quote unquote say, on the other side of the aisle that are friends. I just don't understand it. How can you be friends with somebody who is not willing to participate in the development of the people who get up and go to work every day? Oh, well, they don't want to work. You got people saying people don't want to work. No, you got people on the television telling people that everybody's life is in jeopardy by this deadly virus. So if you tell people that everybody's life is in jeopardy due to a deadly virus, and you have a dishonest, disingenuous government for the last 300 or 400 years, you can't blame people for taking the vaccination, or not taking it. Being afraid. People are looking at things and they're trying to hash things out. And it's not that they don't want to go to work, but what you have to realize is, again, it goes back to the pawns in the game concept. There are some people who are creating ways out of no way. They're creating ways to exist, to excel out of no way. So why would I go back in your office and allow you to mistreat me and treat me like a clown, or treat me like I'm less than human for the exact same money that I've created a path to? See, we must stop falling into the nonsense, the traps that people lay out to make you fight against your fellow man. Because it's cool to put it that way. It's easy to do it. Hey, you're not doing what I did, so you're wrong. This is another example: LGBTQ versus the straight community, man versus woman, Muslims, Muslim versus Christian. They continue to create obstacle after obstacle so you won't see the naked hand. Do you understand that the United States federal government spent like $3 trillion a year fighting a war for the last 20 years? Imagine all that money that went into Afghanistan if we'd have put it in infrastructure like roads, rebuilding trains, rebuilding thoroughfares, transportation, air traffic controller equipment, bridges. You got bridges collapsing in the United States of America. Why haven't we been putting that same money into that? And I understand, look, the people in Afghanistan, they need assistance. I understand that. But the people on the west side of Chicago need that same assistance. The people on the south side of Chicago, people in East Orange, New Jersey, they need that assistance. People in Brooklyn, New York, the Bronx, Los Angeles, California, Watts, South Central, they all need that same assistance, right? So if you need all that same assistance, why isn't that money coming to us? Because we're being played. We're being played. And if you want to continue to argue about women's rights, if you want to continue to talk about black people's rights, if you want to continue to talk about gay people's rights, instead of just talking about human rights, you're part of the problem. You're being used as a pawn. They're going to put you out there and sacrifice you. Hey, you shouldn't disrespect women. You shouldn't disrespect women at work. You shouldn't disrespect any human being in the history of the earth that ever walked the earth. Exactly. The 1%ers are killing it while we busting our asses. And some of us think we killing it because we got a nice car or we got a nice house. And you don't, if your house is worth $250,000, if you don't have $480,000 in the bank, guess what? You're not killing it. You're part of the problem, not part of the solution. But we'll continue to let these people roll people out, and then you continue to argue for this side and argue for that side, and we'll continue to have issues with each other about what somebody else is saying. What are your issues? When are you going to organize a block club and turn it into a community club? And then start going to community meetings. And then start going to city council meetings. And then start paying attention to what's going on in state government. And then start paying attention and start pressing your government. I keep telling you, download the 5 Calls app. If you are not a millionaire and you're watching this, you need to download the 5 Calls app. It will put you in contact with the people who are important in your local, state government area, and you will be able to harass the hell out of them. And then don't just do it yourself. I don't need just you to do it. I need you to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend to do the same thing. Otherwise, you will be a pawn. Look, this is a game that we must play. Is it fun? Is it something I want to do? No, I don't. But in order to get what you need, you must continue to press. Press, 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 or you will be just a pawn. You will be just a pawn. We consistently buy into things that are not beneficial to us. And I'm speaking to my community. I'm talking about things just I'm talking about things as simple as supporting television shows, supporting television programs, supporting movies. When you got Viola Davis sitting on TV, she hasn't done a movie in quite some time. She's no longer on TV, and she's saying she's green light and financing certain programs. And when she goes to Hollywood, if it has a black director, they go, we don't know. If it has a white director, they go, okay, we'll do it. What we need to do, I said this 2 years ago on this very show. If you don't have a black director, if you don't have a black executive producer, or at least somebody in production that's black, and if you don't have a black star, maybe seeing how a Harvard study was done 3 years ago and states that black people are the #1 watchers of TV. So, if Viola Davis can't get it greenlit, we don't need to deal with it. If Shonda Rhimes ain't dealing with it, we don't need to deal with it. We can literally put some of these people out of business. Well, not out of business, but we can put a dent in their finances. Because while we support, like, another example, I'm a Jeopardy dude. I like Jeopardy. I never win. I'm not that informed, but I like watching and see how many questions I can get right. They dangle LeVar Burton in front of us. Everybody love LeVar Burton. LeVar Burton is a 100 dude. LeVar Burton is all about reading and enlightening and enhancing your mind. He's one of us, and they had everybody from our community who's watching Jeopardy about to start watching Jeopardy, and then they gave it to another dude. Ironically, look. The dude who got the job is the dude who was assigning people to the job. Because what he did was get people focused on Jeopardy. No longer the great Alex Trebek is no longer with us. The reason I watched, he was also host at it. And then all of a sudden I'm thinking a brother gonna be on there. Well, now the whole black community is paying attention, right? So while the whole black community is paying attention, they do the bait and switch, and now they got a white boy on there, and there's gonna be a lot of people still watching. But what we need to do is this. Anytime we don't get what we want, do that. If you do that, we ain't gotta worry about it. Why are we arguing with people about our free time? If you are not supporting what we're doing, if you're not representing us, why are we even participating? This is what W.B. Du Bois said in 1962. These laws will change. I'm paraphrasing. These laws will change. And as they change, they'll integrate the schools, and you will become a figment of someone else's imagination. And again, what he's saying is this: if you don't have a foothold on who you are, and you sitting up allowing people to dictate who you are and what you do and what you represent, what's going to happen is this: you're going to be exactly what they said you were. And you're not that. You are who you say you are. But if we keep saying, hey man, it ain't that big a deal, it ain't this and it ain't that, what you will continue to do is fall subject to the tyranny of the dominant society, and you will continue to get kicked in your head. You can believe it or not, you can go along with it or not. I understand if you don't want to, but understand this as well. This is what you're up against. Anytime the bait switches on, anytime you turn around and you see our community get represented by this, and we're not benefiting on this end, all we're doing is consistently giving, and not getting back. A lot of people, yours personally included, were critical of Ice Cube. The only time I supported Ice Cube is when he said that Joe Biden and Vice President Harris said, well, come see us after we're elected. I have no leverage after we're elected. See, this is why, again, 5 calls out. And we start pressing these people now and letting them know, hey, if you don't do what we need, you're going to lose. Because, contrary to popular belief, we are one of the most powerful, if not the most powerful, voting blocks in the United States of America. So, if we're the most powerful voting block in the United States of America, as my mother would say, why do we always get the shit in the stick? Because we're not diligent in our complaints. It does not benefit us to complain to each other. It does not benefit you to complain to me. Yo, HRap, what do we need to do? I don't know what we need to do in your town. But what we do need to do is fix things in our communities. And how we fix things in our community, we start complaining up and start participating in this pawn situation, because we're not dumb enough to believe that these people have our backs. They don't. You don't even believe that. But if we continue to allow them to pretend that they have our backs, they'll continue to pretend that they have our backs, and we get nothing. We get nothing. So we're going to have to deal with people that we don't like. I'm not asking you to hang out with anybody. I'm not asking you to go on no dates. What I'm asking you to do is this. Again, unless you set up like the Wall family, the people who own Walmart, I'm talking directly to you. Now, if you're not set up like that, I'm talking to you. If you are going to stay, and if you're not going to utilize your passport and go get dual citizenship, you need to be doing these things. You need to be making your voice heard. You need to be making these people roll with you or get rolled over. Hey man, you don't have to watch TV. You don't. Because most of us are paying for Amazon Prime, $12, Netflix, $10, and it's some other stuff, Disney Plus and stuff. We don't have to watch network TV. And the funny thing is, I'm not telling you that Netflix is an ally. I'm not telling you that Netflix is an ally. But they're putting money into movies that starred by us, directed by us, and we do our own thing. Elections to vote. Exactly. It doesn't, my homegirl, Hoodie just said, it don't benefit us not to show up. Exactly. Because what we need to be doing right now, like, this is the thing. We're getting subliminal brainwashing. Or we're not going to show up for the midterms. We're not going to show up for the midterms. We're not going to show up for the midterms, and then we don't show up. What we need to be doing is people like Hoodie, people like Ben, people like Dolph, people like Wilkes, people like myself, people like DJ 12, people like Purplicious, people like Rocka, people like Knox, people like anybody who's listening, get 5 to 10 of your own friends, your own neighbors, and the people who mean something to you, and put them together and start making moves in one direction. It does not take 10,000 people. It doesn't take 1,000,000 people. It only takes, in some instances, a few hundred people to wake people up. Because when a few hundred people remove their finances, I can't remember where I saw removing the black dollar. When a few hundred people remove the black dollar, hey man, I don't care where you are, what you're doing, when $10,000 a month or $50,000 a month is removed from your budget, you start looking to see what's going on. You start looking to see what's going on. And when you're looking to see what's going on and all roads lead back to the black community, we put ourselves in what they call the catbird seat. And when you're in the catbird seat, you're winning. You are winning. But we don't want to do that because we try to fit in. But the sad thing about us fitting in, don't nobody want us to fit in. So if don't nobody, what we need to start doing in America as the black community is this. Treat it like when you didn't have the coolest clothes, or you didn't have the slickest ride, or you wasn't filled out as a woman. Hopefully I don't fit nobody like that. And all the boys was walking past you. And all the girls were walking past you. And all of a sudden you got that part-time job. All of a sudden puberty hits you. You start getting curves and all the boys start paying attention to you. And you got that nice car and all the girls, or you sprouted up from 5'2" to 5'10", or maybe even 6 feet. Now all of a sudden you're the cutest guy in town and you're the cutest girl in town. But we don't want to, no, I don't want to deal with you now because I'm where you wanted me to be. I'm financially where you wanted me to be. Well, what we need to do is the black women who didn't have all the curves and all the men walk past her, you hook up with the black men who didn't have the money, the finances, and the acne, and we hang out together. And that's our entire community. We are the flat-chested, short people of the world. And I'm being facetious, but that's the way we need to look at it. So, seeing how we are currently the undesirables, we need to work together and become desirable as possible. And then there always was, just like in life, there were a couple guys, a couple girls that were flirting anyway when you wasn't sitting on top. And we will allow them to come in our circle. They're called allies. And those allies will help us. But the other people, we're business partners. We'll be doing the barter system. If I got one and you got one and you need this one and I need that one, we'll exchange. The moment the exchange is made, we will separate. And then you go back over there. Until we learn that, we will continue to struggle. We will continue to struggle because this is the number one problem in our community. We keep trying to fit in. And if you think you can fit in, all I want you to do is ask yourself this. Ask yourself this. Why is it a law attempting to be passed called the Crown Act? That's so most of our sisters, primarily the sisters, they get with this. But a lot of the brothers who grow locks, they mess with them too. You can't grow your hair in 35 states the way you want to. You can't be educated potentially in 35 states because you're wearing your hair the way it comes out of your damn skull. You can't look the way, and look, you ready for this? The evangelical Christians don't want you to wear your hair the way the good Lord wants you to wear it. The way the good Lord pulled it out your head. That's what time it is. That's what we're dealing with. And you want to be involved in that. Please help me understand. Help me understand, why do you want to be part of that? Why are you chasing that person around that thought you were undesirable when you become desirable? That would be asinine. That would be asinine. But we do it as a community. Just about every culture in the United States of America, including our own, has shunned us for something. No more attempting to do this. 35 states. We have to pass laws in 35 of the 50 states in the United States of America that say it's okay for black people to grow their hair and look like black people. But you think we should try to put ourselves in the gumbo? No, this gonna be an ingredient left out of the gumbo. But you know what? Here's the beautiful part about being black. Here's the beautiful part about being black. Watch this. We're the most tasty ingredient they got. We are the most tasty ingredient that is in the gumbo. So, if you remove us from the gumbo ain't so tasty anymore. How about that? So, we need to remove ourselves, understand our power, build our communities, and do these things. Because the 5 Calls app, I need y'all to download this, man, because we don't have time. Another thing, stop tipping your hand. This is a game of cards. You would play a game of cards. Oh man, he got spades. No, you play a game of cards. Everything close to your chest. We're not protesting anymore. We're not putting our personal and social business on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook anymore. Why are you doing that? Why are you loading a gun that's going to be aimed at you? You get emotional about certain things. No, we're not going to do that anymore, y'all. I keep telling y'all this. This is the way to success. I need y'all to subscribe to this thing called Narrative with a K. Spell narrative, put a K on the front. Sister Karen Hunter, Dr. Greg Cobb. It's something awesome. She's building an overground railroad. That's what she's doing. She's building an overground railroad. And she's putting us in a position, in her words, so we can all be healthy, wealthy, and wise. She's part of my inspiration. We must educate ourselves on who we were, and understand who we are, so we'll know where we're going. And we must understand that, look, when you look back and you see other cultures behind you, they're not lapping you. They're trying to keep up with you. We must continue to educate ourselves on what we have to do. And education is key. Education is key. And again, what I'm about to say, I hope no one takes offense at it, because I'm not going to attack these brothers, but I'm going to say be leery of them. See, because what we do is we make Puff Daddy rich, and we're not rich. We make such and such rich, and we're not being fulfilled. They're not giving back to us. And the reason I'm bringing that up is our brother Will Smith, who I got mad respect for, like him as an actor. He was a decent MC. We got my man Jay-Z, super MC, super dope brother. He does, but these two dudes are making money for themselves. They just got involved with a credit union. And on the surface, it looks like, hey man, they're doing us a favor. What they're doing is they've partnered with a credit union, and they're going to allow you to move into a home, and then you basically put you in a potential rent-to-own thing so you can get your credit together, and then you can rent to own the house that you're living in. On the surface, that sounds dope. That sounds super dope. But the reason I question it is because our ancestor, the great Fred Hampton, he was presented with the exact same situation. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put that clip in the chat room. I want y'all to look at that clip after the show or whenever you can. Minister Fred is talking to some brothers who, I don't know if they were operatives or not, but Minister Fred looking at these dudes, and they talking about just credit union. Hey man, it's going to help the brothers. It's going to help the brothers. And he talks about education. See, Jay-Z and Will Smith, I don't know what the entire plan is, but I didn't hear anything about the education of people. See, it's easy to get somebody a house. We went through that already, right? During the George Bush era, he made it real easy to get a home. Then the market crashed, and everybody with a home got put out their home, and then it was a housing crisis. And we all know The number one way to wealth is to own property, because it's a generational thing, right? There it is in the link on the YouTube side, and I'm just going to put it on Spreaker.com side as I speak. But the number one way to obtain wealth in this country is land ownership. So yeah, on the surface, it's like, hey man, they helping people get cribs, but is it going to be another predatory lending thing that made the stock market crash in 2008 or 2005 through 2008, where people getting homes that they couldn't afford? And then next thing you know, those homes are repossessed. And do you understand that 50% of black wealth was destroyed in 2008 because a lot of people lost their homes? See, your home can be used for a myriad of things. You can get older, keep your house up to snuff. You get older, you give it to your children. Your children use your home as an income property because they have a home as well. And then the money continues to circulate, right? Exactly. Predatory lenders did demand. So it's discredit. You ain't going to be a predatory lender? Are you going to educate the people on how to maintain these things? See, because what you can do is you can help me get my credit right. You can help me get a 600 credit score or 550, and I can get a home loan. But you haven't educated me on the principles of credit. You haven't educated me on the principles of credit, how things work, how it's beneficial to you. You haven't given me financial literacy. If you don't give me financial literacy, you give me a pile of money, right out the window. All that money goes right out the window. All that potential goes right out the window, and you're done. You are done. So, while our brothers Jay-Z and our brothers Will Smith, yeah, on the surface, it's awesome, and I hope that they're doing the right things. But we also must be aware of, just because you want to do the right thing don't mean your partner's going to do the right thing. All you have to do, you don't understand where I'm coming from, look, watch the documentary, I Am Dick Gregory. Dick Gregory wanted to help people, his partners. When he came out with the Bohemian Diet, he partnered with people. They wanted to do this, and he actually put that diet plan together to help people live as long as humanly possible. They did it because he was a famous person, and they were using his name to get to the people, and when they got to the people, they made money. Dick Gregory walked away with nothing. Period. And these are the things, as black people, that we must be aware of. Oh man, it's Jay-Z. That's Will Smith. Will Smith and Jay-Z going to make a whole lot of money doing this. They're going to make a whole lot of money doing this. But I don't care. Look, man, just the people that's listening to my show, I want the very best for each and every one of you, man. Each and every one of you. I want the very best for you. But I can't want the very best for you if you're not willing to take the steps to get the very best out of the system. The system is designed so you can't win. Oh man, the plot against you is out there. But see, it's a plot against us and it's a plot against poor people. But my show is about us. Do I want poor people to suffer? No. I don't want them to suffer, but I don't want us to suffer 10 times as much. This is a tribal theme that I'm doing right here. I got a brother that I'm talking to. He has a program that he is trying to get 100,000 young black men and women into tech. And we can come together on a date. He gonna come on here and blow your mind. He is busting his behind. He took a long time to get back to me and apologize to me. That's how dope that brother is. That's how dope that brother is. But if we don't get a way to support him, support these young people, and support our community, we will cease to exist. This is not a fight that can't be won, but it's a fight that will be lost due to ignorance. If you just looking at things and looking at the surface of it, oh man, I'm gonna support this. We have to start making demands. This is the beauty in social media. This is the beauty in Facebook. This is the beauty in Instagram. This is the beauty in Twitter. Because guess what? When P. Diddy has come out with a new liquor and we all jump our black behinds out there and go buy it, guess what? Then He owes us. A lot of people, they don't owe us anything. Well, you know what? Why is Ciroc the #1 vodka in the world? Because P. Diddy has it, and we support it. So guess what? You need to be on Instagram. You need to be on Twitter. You need to be on Facebook saying, P. Diddy, why things shake? You from Harlem? Why things shook up in Harlem? You from the northeast part of America? Why ain't you putting some of that $400-500 million we helped put in your pocket? Why ain't you putting that back into the community? Derrick Rose, Patrick Beverly, Anthony Davis, and whoever else who in that damn league in the NFL and Major League Baseball from Chicago. Why ain't y'all helping us? We buying these damn Adidas. We buying these damn Nikes with your name on it. We buying these damn jerseys. We gonna need some help. That's the beauty in social media, because we can. If 400,000 or 500,000 of us start saying that from Chicago, from Los Angeles, from the state of California, from the state of Texas, from the state of Louisiana, there's no way all these people can be from all these places that are impoverished, and they are not demanded to help us. They are not demanded to help us. That's crazy. Yeah, we still support our own, but our own should support us as well. We can't, look, man, no more arguing and pointing the finger and saying what it is and what it ain't. We done with that. We're done with that, man. We can't do that anymore. What we have to do is get up off our black behinds, right? And put ourselves in a position to win. Support Trade Naturals. Support DJ, being for BS3 radio. Support Built for This network. Support everything that you can that you see people are giving back. And when you do that, and we're not supporting you by potentially giving you the information that you need or giving you a peace of mind, like if you listen to my man Big Illinois show and get a peace of mind, tomorrow if you listen to DJ Mad Knox, he gonna give you a peace of mind. If you're doing these things, then we get the advantage. We get the advantage. I'm gonna disseminate this information and help my people every chance I get. But if you're not willing to do everything you can, I'm just talking to fill up air, man. I'm jacking up the ozone layer, man. That's it. It's not good, man. We have to move in one direction, and that one direction is up. I'm gonna keep saying this too. We are going to eliminate these words: can't, won't, don't from our vocabulary. People don't support people. You can't do that. You ain't gonna be able to do this. You can do whatever the hell you want. You want everything that you can have, and you need to stop talking negatively about. Look, there's no such thing as greed. Most of the people that listen to this show, you can glance at a scripture or two, read the Bible, and you believe in it, or it's the Quran or whatever. Allah and God say they want you to live in abundance. So why are you minimizing yourself by saying, well, I don't know, well, I got what I want and it's cool, it's gonna be okay, instead of saying, I want all this. I said it Saturday, man. Saturday I said the same thing. I said, I need it all. And I do. And I don't want it all for me. I want it all to share. It's easy to get it all and cuff it and hoard it and, oh man, no, I'm not doing that. I want, and don't get me wrong, man. When I get mine, I'm gonna be sharp as, man. I'm gonna be casket sharp. I'm gonna have a slick ride. I'm gonna be dressed to the nines. I'm a nice dressed dude now, but I'm gonna be even better dressed dude. I'm gonna have an even slicker ride, and I'm gonna have an even slicker crib. But I'm gonna do more of what I do now. When I drive down the street, I literally have money on my visor to give away. I have friends who have given me things that I didn't even know I was going to get. So after I started receiving those blessings, I had Singles. Every time somebody give me a single, I cuff it. I cuff it. Until I had like 25 singles. 25. Before I stopped riding around, I had $43 in my visor on my garage clip. And every time somebody homeless, I pull up, hey, you got some change? And then he go the thing, if they didn't ask because I'm black, because a lot of people dumb enough to look at black folks and say, he ain't gonna give me nothing, he black. Or he gonna judge me because he black. Well, if you dumb enough not to ask, you ain't gonna get. Just like God said, if you closed mouth won't get fed. If you ask, you shall receive. You walk up to the car and say, yo, you got some change? Bam. Didn't hurt me, man. It ain't gonna hurt me. My back hurt me, but that's another situation. But if you ask, you shall receive. You must speak things into existence. If you talk to anybody who know me in this chat room, I'm saying what I want. And I don't, man, judge me if you want to. I say what I want because I know what I want. I know what I want immediately because I ain't a dude who need a lot. But all of us need an abundance of finance because something, I didn't even have this part of the show. I was actually supposed to be done an hour because my back is smoking. But I got to say this. Stop saying what you got enough of. Oh man, money is the root of all evil. If you dumb enough to believe that, you need to be poor. Oh well, money don't buy you happiness. Well, until you drive, this is what I want you to do. Go through your town, drive around the homeless shelters, see if none of them got money. Because they out there. I bet you ain't gonna see nobody doing no pop locking and shit out there. No, because money will help them. Oh well, money ain't gonna buy you happiness. You know what money will do? If you depressed, money will allow you to go talk to a therapist and work things through. Oh, money ain't gonna buy you health. Money will buy you health because the poor food choices you make, if you had more money, you wouldn't make those choices. You get the finest of foods. Everybody be at Whole Food then. Everybody might turn vegan or vegetarian then. Guess what? The stresses that you have from working your behind off every day, if you had a whole lot of money, you would have to work that stressful ass job. You would be able to get up, go to work at the place of your choice to do what you want to do, and then you would have time to work out, exercise, and relieve. Those endorphins will filter through your body, and as they filter through your body, what will happen? You will feel better. See, money helps everything. And it's to quote the great Sean Price, money and thing says the guy who's rich, but the broke dude saying life's a bitch. Yeah, that's the way we living. So stop with the nonsense about, oh man, money ain't everything. It is everything. It's the key. It's the key because money will get you out of your stressful situation. And then, for example, as this show continues to grow, somebody called me tomorrow. Hey, yo, HRap, I got $1 million for you to blow up on the end of the bench. We want you to come on our network. We want to simulcast you on our network. We get you $1 million to do it. Bam. Guess what? My partners, my friends, they coming up with me because now I need you to do promotion for me, dog. I need you to do this for me, dog. I need you to. Now they got 4 jobs working for me, and I'm paying them more than what they're making now. Because I got $1 million, and that $1 million is going to make me more money. Then when it makes me more money, I'm going to hire more people. Wow, money. Another thing, you don't have a nice enough house. Because if you can drive past a house and go, whoo, I wish I lived there, that means you should be saying, I want that house. These are the things we have to stop minimalizing what you do in order to get where you want to be. Say what you need and you'll get it. That's why I do. That's why I live the way I live. And I'm not gonna lie to you. I just started doing this. Because I used to be like, hey man, all I really need is this, and then I can work my ass off and get. No. I will continue to work my ass off, but I need a big pile of money. I need a big pile of money. Oh, well, hey, man, this headache is bad. Man, my back hurting. But there's some people out there with COVID and cancer. Shit, that they back ain't hurting. Mine is. I don't know about you. My back is killing me. And I got to go to physical therapy tomorrow. And it usually stopped hurting around this time, usually about 24 hours after physical therapy. Boom, it kicked back in. That's why I forgot to take my meds. But with that being said, man, we cannot minimize what we need anymore. We do. If you want to drag your feet, don't complain. That's the thing. If you busting your ass, you got the right to complain. If you're going, well, see, it ain't my turn. It's my turn. Every day is my turn. Every day, I got a chance to hit the lottery every day. Even if I don't play, I got a chance. So, with that being said, man, stop minimalizing your dreams. Stop minimalizing your wants. Stop minimalizing your desires. You ain't nothing wrong with being greedy. Now, it's something wrong with being greedy and stingy. If you want a lot so you can help, then that's the way to go. If you want a lot just to say you got a lot, then you suck. You're no different than the oppressors. You're no different than the oppressor. So, with that being said, man, thank y'all for tuning in, man, to Built for This Network on Spreaker.com. Please go over there, subscribe. Built for This Network, Spreaker.com, speaker with an R. Subscribe to Built for This Network. You'll get notifications. Then subscribe. Go here. You look at me on YouTube. That's all you do. It says this many people is watching. And then they're going to say how many people liked it. You can either like or dislike. And then you're going to go over to subscribe. And then you subscribe. And then you go over to this little bell. And hit that bell and you get a notification every time I come on. If you like what you're hearing, man, if you want to add to what you're hearing, or if you want to challenge my opinions, I don't care. You're welcome to. But do it. Then you need to watch the Infamous Street Radio. You need to watch Chief Rocker. You need to watch DJ Mad Nuts. You need to watch Big Illinois. You need to watch everybody on here. You need to watch my man D Greatest, that dude right there, D Greatest. You need to watch it. You need to tune in. If you're on the Spreaker side, subscribe to DJ 12. My sister DJ Purplicious, she on Built for This Network. She on the network with me. I need you to support everybody, man. I need you to support everybody. I got my man DJ Chuck in the building. And the reason I'm calling off these random names, if you're on the YouTube side, is because DJ Chuck is on the Spreaker side. And I'm in trouble now. I just got myself in trouble because I didn't take my meds. I'm getting punched in the eye. And then I need you to support my man D from Finest Wine Cooking Channel. Good content everywhere, man. Good content everywhere. Everywhere. And as I told you, man, I need y'all to do what I'm saying, and I need to follow my own instructions because I'm sitting here in total pain because I wasn't thinking and got my black behind on air and didn't take the little pain medication. It wore off because I was really living off the electroid thing from yesterday, but on down, kicking me clean in the head. But I'm cool with that, man. I'll be in better condition in a little while. But I want you to go to BS3 Sports, and I need you to listen. He always kick me in the head all the time. I got to get it right. I'm going to get it right today. And I don't want to say the name wrong. I ain't going to say it wrong this time. Dog, you got me. You kicked me in the head. I ain't going to get kicked in the head again. It's my man. It's Queens 3 and King on BS3 in about an hour and a half, man. Hour and a half. My man going to be on. It is engaging. It is fun. It is uplifting. They talk about real topics and real people things. So if you're friends with Big Illinois announced yesterday or this morning, he coming back, man. Long awaited show, Backyard. My man Stevie Lott and my people, we talking about doing another show too. So we might do something too. We gonna do something too. It's gonna be more fun. It's gonna be more lighthearted. Enough of this old preachy, shut your black ass up, HRap talk, man. You know what I mean? So that's what we gonna do, man. I need y'all to tune in to these programs. You tune in on Monday, you get the forecast. Me, my man Wilkes, my man Dalton, my man Ben, awesome brothers, awesome opinions. It's not like any other review show you ever gonna see. Mad Knox gonna be coming back. Built for This Network been on the injured list, man. The whole Built for This Network been in the hospital the last month. All of us, man. Any person ain't been in is Big Illinois. We all been on the critical list, but we don't call it a comeback. We've been here for years. We finna take over the universe, man. So either you can roll with it or we gonna roll over you. With that being said, as you know how I end each and every one of my shows, I salute my main man, Reggie O'Shea, rest in peace, aka Combat Jack. He is the dude who kind of helped me along, man. I was dragging my feet. Oh man, I don't know if I could do that. I was acting like a punk. So I watched Reggie O'Shea one day. I said I could do that. So salute to Reggie O'Shea, aka Combat Jack, and he used to have the Combat Jack show, and they used to say this at the end of every show: dream those dreams and man up, a woman up, live those dreams. Because life without dreams flows in black and white. Life with dreams flows in Technicolor surround sound. And I always give people this warning: if you don't like my show and you don't like what I'm saying, all you have to do is not listen, or
You better shut your white mouth. I'm not kidding you.
and that's how I feel. And that's how I'm getting down. You know what I mean? And with that being said, man, thank y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in, man. Built for this network, Spreaker.com. Subscribe to this. I'm gonna need you to tune in to Queens 3 and King in about 90 minutes. It's gonna be awesome. As usual, my man Dog, his three beautiful sisters. They are awesome human beings. Oh, that was stupid. Awesome human beings. And tune in to Ben, and he do pop-up shows all the time. I ain't got all his times because he get out. But remember, man, me, Big Illinois, DJ Mad Knox, #1 Chief Rocker, DJ Purplicious, Mooka Dean, Cheers Roundtree, and James Earl. We are built for this network. Support us. Ben for BX3, he got too many people on this network to name. Support Ben. Support the dudes over at Ash Squad Radio. Support the dudes at Real Cast Rangers. Support the dudes over at, it's a bunch of music networks, DJ Chuck, DJ Ramal and his crew. It's too many people to name, but DJ Ramal, go over to the Spreaker side, you'll see us, man. We all supporting each other. We all trying to make this happen, man. And always remember, man, support people who are good people. Oh, my man DJ Ramal just got in the building. Thank you, Ramal. It's always good to see you. Support the people, man, who putting out quality content. And people who putting out quality content, they will give you what you need. Whether it's something like my man D Gray, who giving you food for the soul on Sunday night, giving you Love Jones, or whether it's me preaching, whether it's Ben talking about sports, Chief Rocker talking about life, DJ Mad Knox, Cheers Roundtree, and James World giving you pop culture, Big Illinois giving you a little bit of everything. Whoever it is, man, Ramal, Beauty, Rap Beauty, DJ 12, my man Chuck from Chicago too, whoever it is, man, DJ Cute Wade, all the good people who we in this little network with. Again, I'm not asking you to like nobody. You don't have to date nobody from this. But what you need to do is support good people doing good things. Support good people doing good things. And as I close out every show, I want to send a salute out to the Ghetto Boys podcast. They're doing good things over there. My man DJ Act, a.k.a. Scarface, and my man Willie D. I want to thank Tariq Nasheed, putting out awesome historic documentaries and doing his show on a regular basis. I got my man Nori, paying homage to hip-hop legends and cultural legends while they still alive instead of waiting for them to die and then say, I wish I would have. He's doing it. My man Ray Grady, who talking to people about life. My man Zoe Williams, who does a show much like my own. To my man Corey Holcomb, who comes on tonight. Craig Fax comes on tonight. Comes on in about 15 minutes. Al Sharpton, he's doing his thing. Sister Heather B adding a spiritual element to all the stuff that we're talking about. She talks about nothing but positivity. Clay Kane, he has a feature on his show on Sirius Satellite Radio in which he talks about men. He literally worked his behind off and got a man released from prison who had got incarcerated in 1976. He got him out in 2020. Clay Kane has a campaign to get black men out of jail who were wrongfully prosecuted. The sister, Larry Daniel Favors, who will slap you around in the kindest way. She will intellectually choke you out. It is one of the most entertaining shows on Spreaker, on Urban View. 126 if you have it. Joe Madison, he's a walking library. Baba Greg Carr, no, he don't like, probably wouldn't like me calling him Baba, but he the Baba to me. Dr. Greg Carr is one of the most outstanding human beings I've ever had the privilege to pay attention to. And the Queen Mother, Karen Hunter. She's doing outstanding work. She has inspired me to be a better person. If you listen to her, she will inspire you to be a better person. This is about uplifting humanity. Look, our tribe is her. My job is to get us the medicine as frequently as possible, whether it becomes in the form of people, information, or whatever. I got to figure out a way, some more software to do the videos again, as I really wanted y'all to see the Fred Hampton video, and I got another video that I wanted y'all to see. But until I find some more software, y'all have to listen to me yammering on for a long time. Hey, I'm gonna tell y'all now, man, my show is gonna be about an hour long. To this back thing, Claire, it's gonna be, there ain't no more 90 minutes and 2 hours. I'm finna cry. And with that being said, but I'm laughing, buddy. I'm for real. Boy, I'm finna go lay down. I'm finna go lay straight down. I'm watch TV late. I'm horizontal for the rest of the day. But with that, man, I really appreciate y'all, man, because y'all could be doing anything. A lot of my friends and family members, they tell me later, oh man, I watched it. Hey man, as long as you watch it, if you watch it today, if you watch it in 6 days, if you watch it 5 minutes before the next show, come on, I don't care. I will be back on air 5 p.m. Central Standard Time Saturday, in which I'll be having some more information that's potentially beneficial to you. Hopefully you can use it. Thank you, Hoodie. I will take care of myself. I don't need to get punched in the face. SOS is in the building. SOS. But anything, man. Anyway, man, I want y'all to do something before something is done to you. This is Built for This Network. I am HRap B. 2 fingers, 1 word. Y'all already know.
We are Built for This Network. For the strong, not the weak.